Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and Facebook page Muriel Talks. I was supposed to do this video yesterday, but I had some technical issues. So I will talk about what I've said in the French video yesterday, even though I can't translate it integrally. As I mentioned in my first video, I am from Niger Republic, even though I also have a French citizenship. I always refer to Niger Republic because it's actually the culture that impacted me the most. So today I will talk about this first aspect of my personality, the African culture. As you can see, I'm dressed in an African dress. This is actually called a bubu, and it is from Ivory Coast. But actually, this kind of dress is a culture that is all around coastal countries in Africa. They use wax and paints to do the printings, and I can show you. Actually, this is how it looks. It's very long and very large and it's very good for summertime because it's in cotton, very light. So yes, as I mentioned, I am from Niger Republic, but actually I was born in Ethiopia. I did 5 years in Ethiopia, then I moved to Ghana. After moving to Ghana, I went to Niger for 3 years, where I did 3 years in the Niger educational system. Then I went back to Ghana and came back to Niger later on before I moved to France when I was 18 to further my studies. So except from the time that I was in Niger, all my scholarship has been in French schools. So as I'm talking of my African culture today, I will mention about the 3 years I spent in the Niger system, educational system. When I was in Niger, I had the privilege to do the ending of my primary school. I say the privilege because at the end of the primary school there is a great exam, and that exams envelopes lots of African history, United Nations history, geography, general culture of Africa. There is actually a lot involved in that exam. So I had to learn it by heart then to be ready for the exams. It was a lot, but that helped me to have a great background in the African history and culture and all about what happened before colonization and after colonization. I read about the great empires, the great kingdom, the great kings and queens, the great soldiers of Africa. At the same time, the geography, the name of countries, of cities, the story, some stories behind some events. So yeah, it was very insightful for me. Also, my parents, even though we were schooled in a French system, made sure we had all the books that were used for in the Niger system as well. So I actually learned to read from home through those books. Those books were written by African authors, so with African stories rather than French stories. So this helped me to understand a lot about the African culture. And what I can say about the what I can say about the African culture is that it's very vibrant. We are joyful people. We enjoy life. Despite all circumstances, whatever challenges someone can face, he can still enjoy life. You will see that person dancing, you will see that person singing, you will see that person rejoicing. Sometimes you will wonder, do they really have any issues? But this is just in us, it's part of us. And I am also like that. I enjoy life to the full. I laugh a lot. And even when I have problems, I don't have any issue to laugh. And I think it's a good gift that I will never let go. So aside from this as well, through my mom, I had some stories of how was Africa in her time, because when I was born in 1989, the countries were already quite developed, but in her time it was just coming out from the colonization process. So from her stories, I also know that Africans are people that wake up very early. It's cultural because they had to go for farming or with their animals to the fields. The men has to go as early as 5 a.m. often. So the women has actually to wake up earlier to go and fetch water. Sometimes the river or the well will be very far from the village actually. They had to prepare the food, a very heavy food, the one that we actually eat now as a lunch. They will eat it as a breakfast because the men will go to the farm and they will not come back before the evening at home. So that's why even till now in some African countries, they still eat heavily in the morning. They're actually like the English country, like the British, I would say. They're actually like the British. They eat heavily in the morning because of that culture. She was cooking a lot of African foods and she actually trained us to cook them. Even though I'm not able to do all of them here, but yes, I know a lot about African foods. I know some of Togolese specific foods, some of Niger specific foods, but also Senegal, Mali. My mom also always enjoyed wearing those African dresses. She actually rarely wear European outfits. She will always enjoy her African outfits. So even though when we grew up, we were us, the children, most wearing European outfits, she helped us to embrace the African outfits. And this is why even myself, even though I'm in Europe, I don't really bothered to just dress myself as an African because this is also my identity. So yes, this is my background. This is how I grew up. I had those books that I will read. I had those stories, and I've also read, because I love reading, I also read books of great authors like Kamara Lai, who is from Senegal, and many others. So all this has made my personality. All this has played a huge role in who I am today. So yes, this is it for this video. And I hope you have enjoyed. Give me your feedback. Tell me about yourself. And actually, I don't know much about the English African literatures books. So if you have any of good books you heard about the African culture that you want to suggest, don't hesitate to write it down under this video. Thanks for watching. Finally, I was able to do a good video. I'm proud of myself. Bye.